The Under the Lights post-game show presented by KEYSYS. We're ready to talk about week 5 of the high school football season. We're almost to the halfway point of the regular season, which is wild to believe. I'm out here at Pat Sullivan Field on the campus of John Carroll Catholic High School tonight, where this Jumbotron over my shoulder got its first action tonight. Ramsey beats John Carroll 40-7, but that scoreline doesn't tell the whole story of this game. We got a lot to talk about, to break down, tons of games tonight across the area. We'll start with this one. John Carroll was in this one right away. They were up 7-6 after a quarter of play. Ramsey's up 13-7 on the last play of the half. They score. They go into the half 19-7, and then the second half was a little bit of a different story. But lots of cool things going on out here. When you get a chance to come see John Carroll in their facilities, this Jumbotron's great. They're renovating the field house. Got all kinds of great stuff going on. So brighter days ahead for this Cavs program. They got another shot at a win next week against Montevallo. But that's this game. We got a lot more to talk about. Let's dive into them now.
A fun night out of John Carroll despite the result, but let's dive into some of the other games on our Under the Lights postgame show presented by KEYSYS. Let's start with the Hewitt-Trussville Huskies, who go to 5-0 with a really impressive 24-0 shutout over Hillcrest. Let's talk to Jeff Allison about it. Let's take a few minutes and talk about one of the best, most impressive teams in the state so far to this point. That's the Hewitt-Trussville Huskies. Got Jeff Allison on the line with us, Alabama 7A football. Jeff was at the Hewitt-Trussville win over Hillcrest tonight, 24-0. Jeff, this Hewitt team has been really impressive. It seems like they matched it with another great performance tonight.
Yeah, they did, and the defense just kept rolling all night long. I mean, they put so much pressure on the Hillcrest front offensive line, and they couldn't hold up. And it's just like linebacker Denarius Crawford, Parker Floyd, just caused havoc on the defense. Front seven just was really hard to block, hard to keep out of their backfield. And this is a good Hillcrest offense. They've been putting up some points. No one's shut them out this year. And so really impressed the way Hewitt's defense played tonight.
Yeah, did I see where Crawford had an interception tonight?
He did. Yeah, he did. Made a nice play on a short pass, broke in front of it, and had a good move to try to break it on the outside, but somebody caught him about 10 yards down the field. He was he was looking to go the rest of the way, but someone got him. But it was a great play on his part. Like I said, it's the defense. I mean, you can't really describe them because, again, they put so much pressure on you. They were just relentless all night.
Yeah, and we've seen over the years, I mean, Josh Floyd's teams at Hewitt, the offense has always been so good. But the last couple of years, that defense has taken it to another level. It looks like Hillcrest only gained like 120 yards all night, which in a 7A Region 3 game like that, man, that's dang good.
It is, and like I said, Hillcrest offense, they're pretty good. They put up some good numbers. They scored a bunch of points against Hoover, and they're not bad. And they even scored against 14, I think 22 or something like that last week against Vestavia. I don't remember the final, but their offense is legitimate. But it was all Hewitt and their defense. The Huskies have to get a little better on offense in the red zone. They got down a few times, had problems scoring. Still don't really have the big play down the field weapon. I mean, they've got weapons. They just, Jack being a freshman just doesn't throw the deep ball, really well right now. I'm sure it's something he's going to improve over time. But, when they did, I would say Hillcrest really did a pretty good job limiting the big play for Hewitt for most of the night.
Yeah, it seems like Jack Floyd, they really seem to put him in position to be successful. 15 of 18, 170 yards tonight. Just when the ball's not hitting the ground, that's a really good sign. I mean, James Kelly had 100 all-purpose yards. And that's the thing about, looking at the stats from this Hewitt game. I mean, you've got, 5 or 6 guys that all have, significant rushing contributions. Like that's something you don't see very often.
No, and they do a good job about letting other people, touch the ball. But, most of his passes were, sideline to sideline, 10 yards outs. He had one tip ball pass for like a 45-yard touchdown to uh, at the end of the game. But other than that, it was just pretty much, get everybody else involved, get a lot of touches. Like I said, they got down a few times and just came up short, had to settle for a field goal. Did scored it one time down there. I know Josh talked a little bit about working on the red zone offense, so see that happening this week coming up.
Yeah, this Hewitt Trustful team really, really good so far. They've got impressive win after impressive win. They get Pensacola Valley next week. They should be able to take care of business there. What do you think? What's the ceiling for this team as they kind of hit the second half of the year?
Well, I think you're going to see they play Thompson on October 3rd. I think that's the game that we're all going to look to go see. It's at Hewitt Trustful, so I think we're going to find out pretty much what goes on there because I think whoever wins that game really after that Hewitt Trustful has Prattville, Oak Mountain, Tuscaloosa County teams they should win, and so to me it's going to come down to that one game with Thompson.
Yeah, I tend to agree. All right, well, big win for the Huskies tonight. Jeff, appreciate you joining me on the postgame show for a minute. I'm sure we'll cross paths again soon.
Sounds good. Thanks, Kyle.
All right, let's dive into a few of the other games we had across the area tonight on this busy Friday night. The game of the night might have been in Alex City. Benjamin Russell edges Spain Park 35-34. Wow, back and forth they go. Spain Park started this game hot. They go up 14-0. Ben Russell comes right back, scores the next 3 touchdowns to take a 21-14 lead, and they go back and forth in the second half. Ultimately, Spain Park is going to rue a couple of missed extra points in this one. They missed one and then scored, got the 2-point conversion, tied the game at 28. But their next touchdown, same issue befalls them. And Benjamin Russell scores the last touchdown of the game, wins at 35-34. Tough way to go. I have to say, I was really interested to see how the Jags would compete against this Ben Russell squad, who's really good in Kirk Johnson's first year there. So even though the loss stinks, Benjamin Russell probably that's a huge win in terms of the eventual region title race. But plenty of good signs for Spain Park moving forward, and we will see how they bounce back with that result. The other Hoover City school, Hoover beats Prattville 48-23. The Bucks needed that in the worst way. It was 20-0 Prattville. And I got to admit, I started getting ready to send some text messages like, oh no, Hoover season is crumbling before our eyes. And then they went on a 48-3 run to finish the ball game off. What a response by that Hoover team. They really needed that. And big time win for the Bucks. Contributions all over the place. That defense started making some noise. We've been waiting on that. And the offense got it clicking as well. So the Bucks win big after a slow start. Probably the most impressive individual performance of the night comes in this next game. Mountain Brook takes down Oxford 42-14. After last week's loss to Pell City, the Spartans needed a bounce back, and they go to Oxford and get a win there. Let me just tell you, Lawson McKnight, I played some running back last year. They move him over to defense, but with Stuart Andrews getting hurt early in last week's game, they needed some help in that backfield. They bring Lawson McKnight back over. He played a lot both ways last week. Played a little bit both ways tonight, but he's going to be remembered for this offensive performance. 312 yards on the ground for McKnight. 4 touchdowns on 36 carries. Oh, my goodness. 312 rushing yards for one guy, Lawson McKnight. Huge night for him. Quarterback Caden Hoffbauer, I think he only threw the ball like 7 times, but he had 98 rushing yards and a touchdown as well. Miller Lee leads the defense with 8 tackles. Huge win for Mountain Brook. That's going to be really big when it comes to battling for a home playoff spot in Class 6A Region 6. In 7A Region 3, Thompson beats Vestavia Hills 35-3. This game was 7-3 at the half. Vestavia had to go with backup quarterback Bryce LeMaster. He gets to start. He battles. But that Thompson defense is elite, and they struggled to move the ball after an early field goal. Vestavia defense has to be encouraged, though. They played really strong, especially in that first half. But Thompson was too much in the second half and pulls away. Another game, Homewood 49, Jackson Olin nothing. Homewood just keeps doing what it does, taking care of business. Quarterback Caleb Carson, 16 of 22, 172 yards and 3 touchdowns. He threw him to David Walden, Cam Foster, who's going to be really, really good, and Landon Pettis. On the ground, Reed Goldstein, Chappie Chaplow, 2 touchdowns each. And the Patriots defense pitches a shutout. They've only allowed 22 points total over 5 games so far this year. Yeah, they're good. And once the schedule kind of tightens up here in the second half of the season, we'll really get to find out a lot more about Homewood. We talked about John Carroll's loss. How about in 5A, Briarwood 40, Winona 22. This Briarwood team keeps on cooking. 3 wins in a row now. Big night from quarterback Charles Dedman. 12 of 15, 215 yards, and 4 touchdowns through the air. Sam Canale grabs 2 of them. Eli Thompson and Dane Whitehead score through the air as well. The Lions are 3-0 in that region. They are in prime position now when it comes to their region standing there. It's good to see them playing well. Jump back up to Class 6A for a second. Chelsea beats Calera 42-25. Chelsea jumped up 21-0 in this game, and Calera wasn't going to just lay down. So they come back and make it a competitive game, but Chelsea eventually pulls away, wins by double digits. That ground attack for the Chelsea Hornets is good. Chase Malone leads the way, 26 carries, 176 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Morgan Barnes right there with him, 87 yards and 3 touchdowns. And they're good. That ground attack with those 2 guys is as good as we thought it would be. Chelsea only needed to throw 6 passes, and they scored 42 points. So that running game is good. Big win for Oak Mountain. They beat Tuscaloosa County 43-7. Big time win for the Eagles after how bad the last couple of weeks have gone. Marty Myrick's big night out of the backfield. He scores 3 times. I know I saw Jaden Aparicio had a long touchdown catch as well. And the Eagles get back on the winning track, which is good for them. They were facing their former coach in Chris Bell over there at T County now. And finally, Clay Chalkwell, 47-15 win over Brandon out of Mississippi. I know it's hard to contextualize an out-of-state team, but I'll just tell you, this Brandon team, they win double digits every year. They're a good 6A team, and I think I saw something where they were like a top 5 team in their little classification over in Mississippi. Brandon led after a quarter of play, and then Clay got it rolling. Quarterback Aaron Fry scored a couple of touchdowns on the ground, and Corey Barber, he caught a couple through the air, and the route was on. So there's a whole lot of ball games for you to wrap up. A long Friday night of week 5 of the high school football season. So that'll do it for this week's Under the Lights post-game show presented by KEYSYS. Thanks for watching. We will be back early next week to start diving into what we've got on week 6. Week 6 is a non-region week. So we'll have a few teams taking bye weeks and some others playing some non-region competition. So get ready for that. Man, the dust settles on a big night. A lot of key results, big time games, and yeah, it won't be long until week 6 is here. So for this week's Under the Lights post game show presented by KEYSYS, that's all for now. We'll see you next week.